Welcome back to Kamen Rider Review, episode number 39. This one I'm discussing a brand new Kamen Rider series, the fourth one ever released. Though technically, when it comes to numbering of the Kamen Riders, the is actually the sixth one. Kamen Rider Amazon. Well, that's him. Kamen Rider Amazon. Yeah. Now, this actually is the shortest of the Showa era series, clocking in at 24 episodes. I have heard, now rumor, the reason why that the series ended was because apparently there was some because I think one reason I heard was low ratings. I think another because people thought it was too violent. The actual reason was because it changed networks. That was the reason why it ended. That's why I read online the reason explanation for it. Now, I initially thought this was the same guy who was also in Denzi Man and Bad Fever J. Nope, it's a completely different actor. It just looks very similar appearance. And I thought he was a Kamen Rider, but he really wasn't. The only person who's been both a Kamen Rider and a Super Sentai was the guy who was Kamen Rider V3. I just basically wrapped up talking about his longest running series he worked on, which was Go Ranger. Now, this aired in 1974, this one. Yep. 1974. Yep. Now, you might be curious though, like in the case of the previous couple of them, do we see returns of any previous Kamen Rider this one? No. Yeah, there are none. Okay, this aired from October 19th, 1974 to March 29th, 1975. Now, you might be curious, though, is there a movie? Yes, there is. Yes. Now, we have technically two of our organizations. One, Gidon. They're here for 14 episodes, and that is it. No, seriously, that is simply it. The main villain of this first half of the series is a creature by the name of the Ten-Faced Demon Goros. And he's got like nine heads that talk. And these look like real people that put into this thing. Now, where this thing came from, I have no idea. Gidon, the best way to describe them is that they're a cult. An evil terrorist cult. That surprisingly, unlike previous Kamen Rider series, they have no real grunts. We have some followers, which are women. Now, the Kamen Rider does fight some of the monsters in this thing very viciously. And by the way, there is like one monster per episode. Yeah. You have Spider Beastman, which is probably a nod to Man Spider from the original Kamen Rider series. Yeah, I'd say he's basically used inspiration for this character. Yes. Yeah, and the next ones are Vampire Bat Beastman, which I'm sure is heavily inspired by Batman from, like, here's another character very similar to another creature. We also have Mantis Beastman, like Mantis. Yes, there was a Mantis monster for the original Kamen Rider series. That was Large Centipede Beastman. Yeah. Now, they're called Beastmen. And here's the strange thing about this one. Like, they apparently don't travel with grunts. Now, unlike in the case of the other ones that turn to cyborgs, Kamen Rider Amazon, they never confirm he's a cyborg. He does transform. He does have basically the regular, like, Hessian belt that all the Kamen Riders do. His looks slightly different. His more has like a spear through it, basically jungle inspired. And he's got an amulet on his arm, which they do explain in the thing that apparently the main villain of this particular arc has got the other half. At this point, they haven't really explained it at all. Now, how does he transform? By simply saying Amazon and very close up, like those blurry lights, and there he is as basically, well, Yeah. So basically, we have him where he's basically Amazon is a wild man. Is that he's basically like Tarzan, where he only wears like a leotard. He has no shoes, no shirt, and it takes episode 4 to finally have Raya's actual motorcycle. Unlike in the case of the first few series, they wrote it like in their debut episode. Not in the case of this one. And plus, he's not a regular rider per se. No, not necessarily. He was actually taught how to ride a motorcycle because, of course, of the wild. They do get a little of his backstory, where apparently he's actually the son of a scientist who actually crashed in the Amazon. Now I'm thinking, the Amazon, that's in South America, and you're flying to your basic. How did he get to Japan? It's rumored he swam there, all the way from the Amazon. Now the Amazon is in Brazil. Now think basically like this is the South America. This is basically where it is, right here in the middle, and Japan's way over here. So basically, he swam 1,000 miles. That, or he basically took a boat or a plane. It's not really clear exactly how he got there. He was hypnotized to go the rest with this Amazon and given this belt mysteriously. So he gets there and befriends some people, and these people are, well, basically a guy. Like basically, the first good person he meets is Professor Koska, who's only in just the debut episode. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We're introduced to a scientist in the debut episode, and he gets killed off this debut episode. Now you're probably thinking, that sounds very familiar. We have a scientist who's associated with the Kamen Rider, and he gets killed off by a spider-like creature. Yes, it feels like a minor rehash of the debut episode of Kamen Rider. Yes, very much like a rehash. But at least in case this one, that one big difference is that he's not a recommendation to rejoin the organization he was supposedly recruited into. This one just randomly shows up. I also have his niece and nephew, Musha Akamura, and Rishiko. Mashiko basically, he came up with the interesting idea of doing hand sign to note to Amazon that he actually is an ally. Also, Amazon can't really speak very well. He can kind of talk, but basically he can't talk normal like everybody else does. He says some words here and there. He basically just repeats whatever he hears. That's mostly basically how he does it. That's mostly how he gets his language out there. And by the way, in case you're curious though, did they change his outfit in the first two episodes? Nope, it's the same leotard. Yeah, and of course we also have this thing where, the girl doesn't like it because they think he's dangerous. I'm like, yeah, that's another rehash from Kamen Rider. It's like, you basically start this off and you already got 2 rehashes from the original Kamen Rider series. Though it's slightly different. At least also, the girl is not accusing Kamen Rider of murdering her uncle, like in the case of, a couple times in the previous 2, at least the first, second Kamen Rider series, you have a spider-like creature who murders a loved one, and of course, the person thinks it's the Kamen Rider. Not the case of Amazon. Nope. They refer to him as Amazon Rider. Of course, the wife refers to him as a Rider because of his transformation sequence, which, yeah, I could buy that. Definitely, just want to watch it. And the way he fights is different. You know how the other ones use martial arts? He basically fights wild man style, where he bites at them, scratches at them. And here's the thing. He does not use the Rider kick. Nope. He does not use the Rider kick. At all. The Rider kick is a very powerful kick that kills the monsters. The original Kamen Rider, the second, the third, the fourth, even basically Rider Man, the first 5 all use the Rider kick. Amazon, does not use the Rider kick at all. His motorcycle doesn't show up in episode 4. Now, in the case of episode 2, we have a girl who was basically recommended to visit him by, of course, Mashiko, who gets injured by a vampire beastman. And, by the way, the first monster killed not by the Kamen Rider, but by his boss being a failure. They do kind of fix this in episode 3 once, of course, Tabata shows up. Yeah, at least, unlike in the case of X, at least they wait 5 episodes in, basically, to show him off. Here, it's like just episode 3. I knew it was going to be him showing up at this point, was because of the motocross stuff. Yeah. Once I'm like, yeah, he's going to show up here. And I was right. I was so happy to see him. Now, if you're familiar with any of the previous Kamen Rider series, he is the only returning character here. Excuse me. Now, where are the other Kamen Riders during this whole entire series? Why do they show up? Completely unknown. In the case of one, I do have an idea what he's up to. V3 was doing Go Range at this point in time, so okay, he's busy. So what about the others? They probably do other stuff, but maybe there are various reasons why they couldn't have him here. Maybe due to schedule conflicts. Probably a lot of them were super busy. That or the fact it wasn't planned. They wanted to do like a standalone thing, but the character they returned to the next Kamen Rider series, no problem. So when he shows up, at first they didn't like want to work with him, but they do eventually do work with him as basically the time when, of course, by next episode he basically introduces some more technique. Of course, he doesn't want it. Then eventually he sort of teaches it to him, kind of forcefully, and they basically gives him his own. Apparently, the one he designed for Amazon was based on the design that Michigo's uncle designed for him, which, like, okay, that's interesting. All right, yeah. And what's mostly the plot of these episodes? Mostly the same thing. The monsters are tasked to do one thing and one thing only: get the amulet from Amazon. That's basically it. Yeah, that's literally what we have here. Get this one thing from Kamen and Amazon, because according to main villain, apparently the main villain's half and Amazon's half open up a secret door. Maybe we'll see when we get to episode 14. Oh, and by the way, in episode 4, that's when pretty much we have Amazon introduce the main villain. That's where he meets him for the first time. Be a distance per se, but hey, at least they didn't wait too long. Yeah, at least gotta praise the fact they actually introduced him. Now, you might be curious though about the organization itself. Is there any generals? No, there isn't. That's the strange thing about Get On. There is no generals. You just basically have some Gidon scientists who appear for like one episode. Yeah. And the Red Followers, the monsters, and that's basically it. That's the strange thing about this. There is no generals. It's very unique. Yeah, that's one thing unique about these episodes, is that you just have one villain who sends out monsters for these many episodes, and that's it. In case you're curious, though, how many more episodes we have left to go before we finish up with Get On? 10. And that's it. No, seriously, that is basically it. Yeah. The place organization is not around very long. They're only around for like 10 episodes before they're gone. Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to discussing the rest of the stuff here. It's a okay start to this one. It is interesting to say the least. Not really bad per se, but time will tell basically how I feel about Kamen Amazon. Aside from retreated tropes, at least I got praised for this. Unlike in the case of Go Ranger, who usually did this, at least not using stock footage 4 episodes in. Thank God we're not doing that. Yep. Let's get behind something interesting, though, not to have an organization in this franchise where no generals and barely any grunts. We see like a couple of them and that's it. I'm like, really? Yeah, and plus also the close-up stuff. Yeah, and also Amazon actually bites him. Yes, which was quite interesting. Also, there's like very violent way. Like he even fights him in his regular form, which is interesting to say the least. Yep. Well, yeah, that's it. Particular review. So you later on my review, hopefully for Comic Corners. I probably won't get time to work on Chainsaw Man today. I'll probably work on it tomorrow. Okay. Next video. Bye.